Welcome to another class in microprocessor 8085 programming. The next program we are going to see today is to find whether a given number is positive, negative or zero. The number given is going to be stored at memory location 1100 and we are going to find whether that number is a positive number or a negative number or whether it is zero. Right? So how can we do that? Since you have studied the flag registers already, so the number or the value of the accumulator can be either a positive number, it can be a negative number, or it can be 0. So depending on that, we are going to see the flag register's value and then decide what the number is. For example, the flag registers will only be set when there is a arithmetic or a logic operation. After any arithmetic or a logic operation, your flag registers are going to be set or reset. So they are going to be active only after an operation. Right? So any operation is performed on the accumulator. So depending on that value, the flag registers are going to be set. So we are going to keep this as the key and then we are going to write a program depending on the flag registers. Right? So let me say when will these flag registers be set? So for this particular program, we are only going to look at two flags. Okay? So just look into this flag area. So we are going to have two flags which we will be using for this particular program. First flag is called as the sign flag. Second flag we will be looking at is called as the zero flag. So there are two flags which we have to check to find out whether the given number is positive, negative or 0. Zero flag is going to tell you whether the given number is 0 or not. Similarly, sign flag is going to tell you whether the given number is positive or whether the given number is negative. So we are only going to check these flags. Okay, so let us see how the program is written. Right, first and foremost thing, LDA. So LDA here means load the contents of 1100 into the accumulator. Load the contents of memory location 1100 into the accumulator, which means the input, the value which you have given as input. So that value has to be loaded into the accumulator. So after loading that value into the accumulator, we just have to see the value and decide whether it is a positive number or a negative number or whether it is 0. Right? I told you we are going to do that using the flag register. But soon after loading the value into the accumulator, your flag registers will not be set. For you to set the flag register, what did I tell you? I said there should be an arithmetic or a logical operation performed. You have to perform an arithmetic or a logical operation. Only based on that arithmetic or a logical operation, your flag registers are going to be set. Right? So simply to perform an arithmetic operation, we are going to just perform an operation called OR operation we are going to perform. So ORI 00, which means OR immediate. Okay, so anyways, we are going to study all these things in theory, all the commands we are going to cover in theory. But whatever is used in this particular or in these programs, I will explain. Right? OR is an OR operation. ORI means OR immediate. Whenever there is I in a program, immediate means the data will be present in the instruction itself. The data is also going to be present in the instruction itself. For example, see at 1100 we say there is a memory location 1100 and I am going to store my data there. Right? So that's what I am going to say. I am going to say at 1100 I have my data and I am loading it to the accumulator. The data is present where? In this particular case, my data is present in the memory location. But here I am saying ORI 00. The data is present where? The data is not present in any register or it is not present in the memory location. Instead, the data is present in the instruction itself. 00 is the data. You understand? So whenever this data is present in the instruction itself, we will be using this immediate operation. So this is one of the addressing modes. So immediate addressing. It's called as immediate addressing. So ORI 00 means OR 00 with the contents of the accumulator. Okay. So why are we doing this operation? So I'll give you an example and then we will discuss what is happening there. Let me give you an example. Say let us say I'm going to store 5 in location 1100. So my value, input value is going to be 5 in location 1100. So what is 5? How 5 can be written in 8 bits? 0000 0101. How you write? 8 bits, right? So 5 bits here, 5 is written in 8 bits, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? So what I'm performing, I said I'm performing an OR operation with 0, 0. How can 0, 0 be written in 8 bits again? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I have both the numbers. What I must do now, I should perform an OR operation. First number is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, which is 5. Second number is 0. So when I perform the OR operation, just see what is going to happen. Right? This is the OR operation I'm performing. 0, 0 is 0, 0, 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0 is 0, 1, 0 is 1, 0, 0 again is 0, 1, 0 is 1. Right? So after performing an OR 0 with the accumulator, what I'm getting here is going to be same as that of the accumulator. So the number is not changed. I'm doing an operation, right? But still the number remains the same. Okay, this was the contents of your accumulator. This was the OR operation you did, ORI 0, 0. So 0, 0 is ORed with the contents of the accumulator, and the result is going to be stored in the accumulator. You see that the result which is stored in the accumulator is same as that of the accumulator value. Okay, so here the understanding is when I do an OR operation, okay, of 0 with any number, the result is going to be the same number. The number will not change. Okay, so I want that only. I want to do an operation, but I don't want that operation to change my input value. I want the same input value to be retained. So what should I do? I will do an OR 0, 0. You understand? When I do OR 0, 0, the same number is going to be retained. Yes, but why should I do if there is no change? If there is no change after an operation, then why should I perform that particular operation? I should perform that particular operation. Why? Because I want my flag registers to become active. Okay, so for you to make the flag registers work, you have to perform an arithmetic or a logical operation. In this case, we are performing a logic operation. But we should be very careful when we perform the logic operation. We should make sure that it will not alter the value. To not alter the value of my accumulator. If it is going to alter, then whatever result I am getting it is not going to be for my input. It is going to be for some other value. I don't want to change my input value. Right? Instead of OR, what can I do? Can I add 0, 0 to the accumulator? Yeah, you can add that also. You can do that also. That again is an arithmetic operation. Right? You have to perform an arithmetic or a logical operation so that your flag registers are active. And but you should also remember that arithmetic or a logical operation should not alter the given value. Okay, so in that keeping that in mind, you can perform any arithmetic or a logic operation. Here in this case, we are performing an OR 0. Okay, so hope you understand. So once this is done, your flag registers will be set, so no problem. What you have to check? You have to check the sign flag and the 0 flag. Right? How are we going to check? We have this conditional control statements. Here in 8085, you have conditional control statements. So those conditions are going to be based on the flag registers only. For example, JZ means jump on 0. Similarly, JM means jump on minus. JP is jump on plus. So what these conditional statements are going to do? These are all jump commands. Jump, right? So conditional transfer of control. So what is this going to do? JZ is going to go to the flag register Z flag and check whether the Z flag is set. If the Z flag is set, when will Z flag be set? It will be set when the result is 0. If the result is 0, Z flag will be set. If the result is 0, then we are saying jump to location ZERO. This is line number 8. Okay. See, first of all, let me explain the jump commands for you. Jump is going to conditionally control your flow, right? Based on a condition. So based on a condition, it is going to control your flow. So there are two kinds of jump commands. One jump command is JMP. There is no condition. You are just saying jump. That's it. Okay. But here you are checking a condition. If that condition is true, then you are saying jump. These are the two control statements here. One is conditional, one is unconditional. We are going to study that in theory anyways. So now JMP is an unconditional jump command. JZ is a conditional jump command. JZ jumps only when the Z flag is set. on condition Z flag is set. So JM will jump only when the sign flag is set or the sign flag is 1. Sign flag is 1 means it is a negative number. So only when that sign flag is 1, this jump happens. Similarly, jump on positive, jump JP happens only when sign flag is equal to 0, which means your result is a positive number. Result is a positive number, only then it jumps. Okay. So where are these jump going to happen? These jumps are going to happen based on the label. Instead of giving the address, actually we are supposed to give the address here or that particular line where you want to transfer the control. But since it is a simulator, we have the option of just giving a label. Okay, so we should use the label. The same label has to be in this line also. It should come here also. Jump on 0 means it will jump to this particular line number 8. Okay, so ZERO here is just a label. It can be any name. Okay, you can give any name. You can just say jump Z also. It will going to jump to that particular label. So make sure the spelling and the spelling you are going to use here should be the same. Okay, also if it is the same case, it's going to be easy, right, for you to understand what is happening. Okay, so what have we done so far? We have actually taken a number as input. Okay, that number is transferred from memory location 1100 into the accumulator. We have performed an OR operation. Now the flag is set. So we are going to check if the value of Z flag, which is nothing but your 0 flag, is equal to 1, which means your result is 0. If it is 0, you will go here. If it is 0, you are going to go here. Right? Here what is happening? We are going to say MVI A, 00. MV stands for move. I stands for, yes, immediate. I stands for immediate. Immediate means the data will be present in the instruction itself. Right? So MVI A, 00 means 00 is present in the instruction itself. We are going to move 00 into A. Okay, so the transfer is like this, 00 into A. Okay, so what are we doing? If you find that your result is 0, then you are saying the accumulator content should become 0. Okay. Similarly, let us see the next case. JM is NEGA is the label. If it is minus, which means if your sign flag is set, if your number is a negative number, then your control should transfer to line number 10. At line number 10, what are we doing? We are storing 02 to A. Okay, we are storing 02 to A. If it is a positive number, what are we doing? We are going to line number 12. At line number 12, what is happening? We are storing 01 to A. Okay, so there are 3 cases. If your number or your result is 0, you are storing 00 to the accumulator. Your number is a positive number, you are storing 01 to the accumulator. If your number is a negative number, you are storing 2 to the accumulator. Why? Because, see, in other programming languages, I would say printf, the given number is 0, the given number is positive, or the given number is negative. I will print a text. But here that is not possible. So what are we doing? I'm going to use some code. I'm saying if I say 00, if I store 00 into the accumulator, which means the given number is 0. If I store 01 to the accumulator, which means the given number is positive. If I store 02 to the accumulator, the given number is negative. So that is the code as a programmer I am using, right? So can I use some other code? Yeah, you can use any code. Okay, but you should use it correctly, meaningful. It should be meaningful to convey the meaning. So according to my program, 0 means it is the contents or the given number is 0. 1 means the given number is positive. 2 means the given number is negative. That is what I wanted to convey. Right? Let us again go back here. Say jump on 0. Let us say case 1, my input is 0. Let me say what is my input. Case 1, my input is going to be 0. So let us take 0 as the case 1. Just see the execution. Let me execute it line by line so that you will know how the cursor is transferred. Right, I have given the input as 0. I am assembling the program and then I have to execute it, but I am going to do it line by line. Just see, first the given number has to be transferred from 1100 into the accumulator. Right, that is the first line. The cursor is in the line number 1. If I click on this button, it is going to execute. executed. Now 0, 0 is moved to the accumulator, then OR operation is done. Once the OR operation is complete, you can see the flag registers are set. Okay, flag registers are set. Now next line, jump on 0 to 0. So what do you mean by jump on 0? You will come and check the flag, 0 flag. If 0 flag is 1, then you have to jump to this particular label location, line number 8, which is 0. Yes, in this case, yeah, the flag register is set, which means jump condition is satisfied, so it has to jump to line number 8. Let us see how it is jumping. Yes, see the cursor, it left the line number 6 and 7 and it has jumped to line number 8. So what is the only work we have to do? Since we know that the given number was 0, we have to move 0, 0 into the accumulator. Yes, so after moving 0, 0 into the accumulator, what you should do? That result has to be put back in 1101. So we are going to store the result in 1101. Right, see? Let's go to the next line, jump skip, which means your work is finished. So you don't have to execute line 10, 11, 12 and all. You don't have to execute. Directly you can move to line number 13 where you have the skip. Okay, so it is skipped all these lines and then come here. Why? Because we have to store the result which is in the accumulator into the memory location 1101. Right? So it is going to skip here. Directly jump to skip command. It will store the result which is 0 in 1101 and halt. Okay, your input was 0, your output is also 0. You understand the flow of the program? Yes. We will take case 2 as positive number, case 3 as negative number. Right? Before going into case 2 and case 3, I have already told you that negative numbers are going to be represented in 2's complement form. Negative numbers are going to be represented in 2's complement form. You know that information already. Okay, so if I say 255, 255 means minus 1. Okay, we have seen that explanation. 255 means minus 1. So here, what are positive numbers? 0 to 127 are positive numbers and 128 to 255 are going to be your negative numbers. 128 to 255 are going to be your negative numbers. Okay, why is it so? For example, let me tell you, if I have 8 bits, we say I'm going to have 8 bits. So the maximum number I can store in 8 bits is 255. So I can store any number between 0 to 255 within 8 bits, right? So this 255, 0 to 255, whatever I'm talking about, they're all positive numbers or unsigned integers. So I'm only able to store unsigned integer. If I have to store signed numbers, then what happens? So I have to store a sign somewhere. Let me say I'm going to store the sign here. So that first bit is going to be the sign bit, 0 for positive number, 1 for negative number, let us say. In that case, what happens? The number of bits you have for data is only 7. Yes or no? The number of bits you now have for data, because you have left 1 bit for sign bit, so you only have 7 bits. So 7 bits, what you can do? You can only store up to 127. You can convert and check. You can only store up to 127. Right? So how are we going to check that? I wanted to also teach you to use the calculator. Right? The calculator, what I have done here, I've used the programmer mode of the calculator. Right? So I will go my binary number, I'm going to make it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So I have only 7 digits. So how many numbers you can store? You can only store 0 to 127. Okay, you can only store numbers from 0 to 127. You understand? Positive numbers. Similarly, negative numbers, you can store up to 128, minus 128, minus 1 to minus 128 you can store. Okay, so what happens now? Just 7 digits I have, so I can only store 7 till 127. So 0 plus 0 to plus 127 is how many numbers you can store. Okay, yes, you can also store negative numbers. So let us say you're going to store minus 1, minus 2 to minus 128 you are going to store. But here we don't say minus 128, minus 127 or minus 1, minus 2. Instead, we are going to represent all the negative numbers in 2's complement form. That is why your negative numbers which are in 2's complement form will start from 128 to 250. Okay, 128 to 255. So in general, if you give input values between 0 and 127, they are all considered to be positive numbers. And when you give inputs from 128 to 255, they are all considered to be negative numbers. So let me give a positive number here. I'm I'm going to give 120 as my input, right? So let us again execute the program line by line. First number is loaded into the accumulator, right? So what I gave here 120 is a decimal number, but what you see here in registers is hexadecimal because registers are going to use hex, right? So don't get confused. For according to us, I have given 120, which is a positive number. OR operation is performed. It is checking whether the 0 flag is set. No, it is not set. Now it is checking whether it is a minus number. Is the sign flag set? No, the sign flag is also not set. Whether it is a positive number. Yes, the sign flag is 0, which means it is a positive number. So it has to jump to POSI. Just jump to POSI line number 12. So it has to move 01 to the accumulator. Yes, it has moved 01 to the accumulator now. From the accumulator, it has to move 01 to 1101. It has moved 1 and halt. What happens? I gave a positive number, my output is 1. I gave a 0, my output was 0. If I give a positive number, my output is 1. Same way, if I give a negative number, what happens? Right? I said 128 to 255 are negative numbers, so I'm going to give one of the negative numbers and we are going to execute it again. So load the number from 1100 into the accumulator, or then see if the 0 flag is set. No. If the sign flag is set, yes, it is set. It is a negative number, so it is set. So jump to location NEGA, which is line number 10. So move 02 to the accumulator. Okay, next what are you doing? Jump, skip. So you are skipping all the other commands in between, jumping to line number 13. Whatever is there in your accumulator, you are storing it at 1101 as a result and halt. What have we done? Since it was a negative number, 1101, 2 was stored. Okay, so if you give a positive number, you will have 1 as the result. If you give a negative number, you will have 2 as a result. And if your input is 0, 0 will be your output also. Understand? This is a program to find whether the given number is positive or negative or 0. I hope you have understood it. Thank you.